No one owns up the petitioner. Ranil is not in our list. SLPP says it again. Udayanga embarrassed over Rajapaksas. Sajith frightens MPs wanting a union with UMP. JVP old guard to oppose strike threats. Ranil, too, is firm.
The leader, දේශයට මග කියන ප්‍රවෘත්ති පෙළගැස්ම.
No one owns up the petitioner. Questions have been raised over the real hands and the motives behind the FR petition that sought a postponement of the presidential polls. Many believed the UNP or someone having links with it was responsible. The President's media unit issued a statement which said, President Ranil off the view that the Election Commission was correct to hold the election this year. Later, it was blamed on the SJB, and there was also talk about a proposal made to the cabinet by Ranil. It seems none of those were believed by most. An election postponement was discussed when the steering committee of Lanza's new alliance met on Thursday. Alagiawanna raised it, and Lanza reacted by saying that there would be no election postponement at all. The president does not want to do so. The election will be held on time, said Lanza. Anura Yapa said it was good the president issued a statement rejecting. Lanza noted it could have been a plot to embarrass him. The SJB, too, is talking about the matter. Some of its MPs accused Ranil of being behind it. On Thursday, its MP Harshana told the media that the president has got Akrani to file a petition to prevent the election from taking place. He is such a good film director. Now he says he doesn't know it, and that he believes his term to be 5 years. Sajith has made inquiries from higher official about this too. He urged them not to be party to this anti-democratic conspiracy. Election Commission Chief Ratnayake said the election cannot be announced in the event the court issues an injunction. The Commission is empowered to fix a date for the election after 17 July. If no injunction is issued, the Commission can call for nominations and hold the election on a date between 17 September and 16 October, he said. Today, the Supreme Court was to take up the petition filed by CD Lenoa from Muratua. Both the SJB and the NPP sought to file intervening petitions, but not the government. Things yet unknown on this will come to be known in a matter of days. Ranil is not in our list. SLPP says it again. SLPP founder Basil told Ranil to the face that they owe him nothing and that they don't fear him either. He said so on 6 July in Kalutara, where a ceremony was held to mark 27 years in politics by Rohitha Abhigunawadna. But Basil ended his speech by promising Ranil their fullest support in the future too.
අපිට අපේ පක්ෂ නායකයා වන මහින්ද රාජපක්ෂ මැතිතුමාගෙන් ලැබෙන ශක්තිය වගේම මේ රජයේ පාර්ශ්වයක් ලෙස අපි කටයුතු කරන වෙලාවේ අපි හැම වෙලාවෙම ගරු ජනාධිපතිතුමනි ඔබට අපි උදව් කරේ කිසියම් බයකටත් නෙවෙයි අපි ඒ වගේම ණයත් නැහැ කියලා බයත් නැහැ කියන එක මේ අවස්ථාවේදී අපි සඳහන් කරන්නේ ඊටාම ගෞරවයෙන්. අපි එදා ඔබට රෝහිත අබේගුණවර්ධන මැතිතුමා ඇතුළු අපේ පක්ෂයේ සියලු දෙනාම එක හඬින් අපේ පක්ෂයේ සභාපතිතුමා අපිව අතහැරලා යද්දිත් අපි තීන්දුවක් කරා මේ රට බේරා ගැනීමට හැකියාව තියෙන්නේ ඒ අවස්ථාවේ හැටියට ඔබතුමාටයි කියලා අන්නේ අවස්ථාවේදී අපි ඒ සහයෝගය අවංකව දුන්නා. අද දක්වා ඒ සහයෝගය ඉදිරියටත් දක්වන්නයි කියන එක අපි කියනවා. ඒ කරන්නේ රට වෙනුවෙනුත් මේ රටේ ජනතාව වෙනුවෙන් කියන එක ඒ රටත් ජනතාවත් ආරක්ෂා කරන තාක්කල් අපි පක්ෂයක් ඇටියට ඔබතුමාට සියලු ශක්තිය රෝහිත අබේගුණවර්ධන මැතිතුමා ඇතුළු අපි සියලු දෙනාම ලබා දෙනවායි කියන ශක්තිය ඒ ශක්තිය මේ අවස්ථාවේ තහවුරු කරමින් මම වැඩි දීර්ඝව කතා කරන්නේ.
Also present on the occasion were Mahinda, Gotabaya, Namal, as well as Damika. Later, a big shot at the SLPP office asked Damika about the meaning of Basil's statement. Namal answered for him, saying that they will not allow the government to collapse. but that it did not mean we would support Ranil at an election, headed while patting Dhammika on the back. In the meantime, General Secretary Karyawasam said Ranil is yet to give at least a hint to them that he is contesting for the presidency. Anida.lk quoted him as saying that this is despite certain SLPP figures finding him suitable for the party to field as its candidate. Therefore, Ranil has not been considered as a possible candidate by the SLPP during its deliberations on the matter. Ranil's economic policy is market-oriented and had no regard for the country or the people. Therefore, the SLPP will not be agreeable to a political journey together with him, added Karyawasam. For his part, Dhammika boasted big that he needed just 60 days to tell to the country how the economy would be shaped. I am the only leader who can employ everyone and make a system for the country. I am contesting from the country's biggest party to win, he said. Dhammika has been holding certificate distributions for students of his DP Education IT campuses across the country. After holding the most recent one in Anuradhapura yesterday, another one is planned on 14th of July. That day is going to be crucial. Lanza's new alliance is having its third rally in Ranil's support in Badulla on the same day. Nimal Siripala and Chamara Sampath are organising it. Furthermore, Ranil loyalists in the SLPP are planning a rally on the same day in Kandy. Organised by Mahindananda, Dillam and Lohan, it will be attended by Ranil himself. So Ranil is showing his might to the country, although he is yet to declare his intentions. Udayanga embarrassed over Rajapaksas. By the way, even some in the Rajapaksa family don't see eye to eye with Basil and Namal in their certain doings. Especially, Chamal and his son Shashindra are of the view that Ranil should be given another chance. Basil's unofficial spokesman Udayanga too seems upset these days. He says the Rajapaksas trusted Ranil to hold a general election first, as per his promise to Basil. The SLPP founder cannot admit it publicly that Ranil has deceived him, said Udayanga from Red Square in Moscow to the Sandashaya by Saroj YouTube channel. He added that Mahinda was now sorry that the SLPP appointed him to the presidency. Udayanga said he felt disgraced over the Rajapaksas and the SLPP for appointing a government that dances to the tunes of America, even if the country becomes ruined. However, Karyawasam says the SLPP has nothing official whatsoever with Udayanga. It seems everybody in politics get together and take the people for a grand ride. They haven't learnt a lesson even after Aragalaya. Sajith frightens MPs wanting a union with UMP. Proposals seeking approval for the 2 debt restructuring agreements with the Official Creditors Committee and China's Exim Bank on 26 June are now in the House agenda. The 2 pacts were to be debated previously, but had to be postponed due to objections raised by the opposition. Sources at the Presidential Secretariat say the government intends to have a vote on Ranil's debt restructuring speech that was made on 2 July. Ranil also plans to lure some SJB MPs to his side at the same time. There is also talk about forming a national government. This came up at last Tuesday's parliamentary group meeting of the SJB. They unanimously approved a proposal that they would not be party to any such move. In the meantime, a union with the UNP to counter the MPP's challenge is a matter under discussion in the SJB. Some MPs met Sajith and raised it. He passed the ball to their court when he said that he too accepted it and that he respects the president. But how can we think about a union with him when he remains with the Rajapaksas? The other thing to remember is that if all of us come together, the JVP will become the main opposition force. That is not good at all, Sajith said. The MPs dispersed after telling him that exactly that will happen if their main divided. They discussed among themselves that the big egos of the 2 would spell disaster for all. That's true. The 2 dare each other. Sajith is so ahead in it that he immediately changes the SJB policy if he believes it to be similar to Ranil's. JVP old guard to oppose strike threats. Ranil, too, is firm. Just like the state intelligence warned the Security Council of an impending wave of strikes, all state institutions now remain paralysed by strikes. It is said the JVP is leading these trade union actions. With the government in no position to counter it, a group of old guard from the JVP has entered the game to oppose strikes. They say the JVP now is without Comrade Rohana's principles and have formed what is called July 09 movement. They ask as to why the country is paralysed by strikes if the JVP says it will gain power in a matter of 3 months. On 9 July, they will be holding a seminar at the auditorium of Sambuddha Jayanti Mandiraya at Thamulla. The situation worries Ranil and he is taking it on a strong line. If they play games, I will have to take a stern decision. How can an election be held amid strikes? He told some ministers yesterday. Looks like something big is going to happen before the presidential election. Reactions by the masses are mixed. The state sector has a workforce of nearly 1.5 million. What happened during the 1980 strike is forgotten now. Even if hundreds of thousands lose their jobs this time too, it will be a good ball for politicians to play with during an election. That's it for today.